Ziba.
Ralph.
It's the first time I've ever met you. I was gonna say you're here, but you are. I'm here. I'm here where you're at.
Welcome.
It's the first time we met. Here we are in Boston. Why don't you say like who you are, what's your deal? Introduce yourself real quick.
Hi, I'm Ziba Scott. I run Popcannibal, little game studio. Been doing that for about 15 years. Make indie games, mostly with my friend Luigi, sometimes with Clark, a musician, but really small team. Been doing that for a long time.
Okay. All right. So you went originally though. You went from like enterprise and academia, software development, right? You have like a computer science degree, right? So you went from like regular computer science, quote unquote.
I went from Linux nerd
It's
a slightly
game
different flavor of Linux nerd still, but yeah.
How did you make that transition? How did you manage that transition?
Yeah, out of college I went into Linux. I was a Linux consultant, which is honestly I love games, but I love tech first. I don't know. I'm a programmer first and a game designer second, though I wouldn't want to give up either. But I just really do love getting in the code and doing that stuff. So I started my career in that and then Linux tech to webmaster at a university, which was a lot of fun. It was a nice job, good people, I liked it, but didn't connect me to as much stuff as I'd like, right? Like I'm optimizing the SQL database so that attachments on students' webmail works more function. Like I actually liked the work, it was interesting, but like you go to a party and it's not as, it separates you from the world a bit more, that kind of stuff, whereas like games, was like, it touches so many topics you can do. So that's that was something missing in my life that made me take a look at games. But it was I heard a ad when I was driving home from work one day on the radio for a new degree program at Michigan State in serious games.
Oh, okay. So you went to school for games.
After I was 7 years out of college, and then had no real interest in going back to college, but when I heard about this master's degree program in games beyond entertainment, like night school classes, I was like, that's kind of interesting. My wife gave me a big push. She was all for it, and I was still like, I don't know. And then I emailed someone at the program. I was like, I just missed the deadline by a little. And then Professor Carrie Heater was like, we'll figure it out. Just sign up, show up now. We'll sort out. Like she was really great about like, you want in? Let's do this. And like, I don't know. I really owe a lot to people around me encouraging me to step into that.
Okay, because I was going to ask you, were you unique among your peers of going into games from computer science? Because I know in my experience, I'm a bit older than you, but when I was in college, we were all playing video games, and I thought it was a natural to go make video games after we graduated from computer science, but I was like the only person who went and did that. Everybody else just went and got quote unquote regular jobs.
No, people weren't, you're right. No, it was the same when I was in college.
Yeah.
I mean, I graduated in 2003.
Okay, so yeah, I graduated in '98. So
yeah. So it was, right. We were all playing. We did manage to get Halo in its prime right then, and no, people weren't going into games.
Right.
I looked at it briefly, but I didn't take it seriously, and
okay. So yeah, it was a unique path. Well, actually, it took you a little later because it took you 7
years, which was great because I got to learn how to work in real jobs. I made real grown-up person's money, and not pretending to be an indie developer, starting out type money. I don't know, pretending to be, not like I had a bit. My life was a bit more established by the time I went indie, and that made things a lot easier for me than I think for a lot of other people. I don't know.